Hello, my friends. Welcome to day 3 of Kegel Camp. If you are just joining me, please start back at day 1 and work your way up to here. And as I always say, if you are feeling any soreness or discomfort or like your symptoms are actually getting worse, then please discontinue Kegel Camp right now. Otherwise, if you're ready to hop into it, let's go ahead and get started. You will need your pillow nearby. We're going to need something for between our knees later, but we're actually not going to start with our hips up on the pillow this time. We are going to start lying down just on our back. So have a pillow or a yoga block nearby, but you won't need it quite yet. So come on down through your side and down onto your back. Just like before, just like we've been doing, let's fire up the core a few times, just a few little rounds where you exhale, bring those knees together, and then inhale apart. Feel that midline starting to fire and activate as you exhale and bring the knees together. Let's just do a couple more times. This is really just kind of a starting place. I want to bring our attention really to the deep abs today. We're going to focus on the abs. We're also going to do some glutes and, of course, our pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is just a part of this entire deep core. And Kegels are, as I said at the beginning of this program, just a small part of an overall global core strengthening program. So I want you to keep that in mind, that you'll need to do more than just what we're doing here, but this is a great start. So let's finish up and keep the knees together, and we're really going to hone in on that fired up feeling of those deep abs right now. So in this position, I want you to think of your pelvis as kind of a clock. So think of a clock on the wall in front of you, and we're gonna go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock with our pelvis. So really, it's just a pelvic tilt. But I want you to think about your pubic bone going up to 12 o'clock and then down to 6 o'clock. So up to 12 o'clock and then down to 6 o'clock. Keep going, focusing on that imaginary clock, and feel that your deep abs have to stretch a little bit right here and then turn on as you go up to 12 o'clock. Bring the breathing in. So inhale, down to 6 o'clock, and then exhale, feel those deep abs pull in as you go up to 12 o'clock. Couple more times. Inhale, and then exhale, up to 12 o'clock. Now come to the middle, and I want you to imagine like 2 o'clock here, so 1, 2 o'clock, and then I want you to imagine like a 10 o'clock. So a 2 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. And I want you to feel your pelvis lifting up toward 2 o'clock and then lifting up toward 10 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, just a little lift using those right kind of deep ab muscles and those right here. Lift that up and then lift up a little bit on this side to 10 o'clock. So it's a 2 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. It's just learning how to move our hips in new ways. 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. You should feel things kind of waking up. 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Let's go back to the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock. One more time, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Now the 2 o'clock and the 10 o'clock. The 2 o'clock and the 10 o'clock. Now come to a neutral position where your pelvis is really flat, neutral on the ground. Your hip spikes, your anterior superior iliac spines are nice and level. Now make sure that your back is in a position where you're not arched off the floor at all. In fact, your back is quite close to the floor. You can't stick your hand under your back. You're really nice in a neutral spine and pelvis position. Now I want you to think of a T, a capital letter T. This is the stump of the T, and this between your hip spikes is the top of the T. So think of lifting the stump of the T and drawing those hip spikes together to make the top of the T. So it's a lift and a drawing in of that T zone right here. Hold that strong as you lower one leg down, slide one heel along the floor, and don't let anything move as you bring the heel back up toward you. Same thing other side. So don't let anything move except the leg as you lower it along the floor and then bring it back in. You should feel these deep abs turning on as you go really slow, and make sure that your low back is not arching off the ground. Make sure that your deep abs are pulled in, your pelvic floor is lifted a little bit because that's like the stump of the T coming up, and then the drawing in of the top of the T, and keep breathing. So really slowly. If you are more advanced, you can bring your hands behind your head. That'll give you a little extra challenge. You can even think about moving your arms along with your legs. But if you're not there yet, do not worry about it. I'm just giving options for my different friends at different levels. So keep going just a couple more times. Like I said, the purpose of this exercise is to wake up the deepest band of abdominals that are really intimately connected with the pelvic floor. So let's do one more now on each side. You'll learn about me that I tend to say one more and not mean it. So I'm sorry if I do that. Here we go. And I think that was one more. Just be even. Make yourself even and finish up. Okay, hopefully you're feeling it like I am right here and here. Now, release. Let go, let the legs drop side to side just a little bit. And now we're going to fire up the glutes and end with a couple of Kegels. So if you need to roll to your side, push yourself up to grab a block or a pillow. Try not to jackknife up. That's really bad for your back and your core and your pelvic floor. So place the block or the pillow between your knees. And remember that sensation that we've been doing of firing up the midline of the body. Feel it now as you bring the knees together in toward the block or the pillow. So press inward, feet are right under your knees. Lift your pelvic floor just a little bit. That fired up core, you're feeling a lift and a pulling in and up, and then lift all the way up. Before, we were lifting our butt up off the pillow. Now we're lifting it all the way up from the ground. Keep squeezing inward against the block and then release down. Let's just do 5. So release, and don't let go all the way though. We're going straight into number 2 and down, squeezing that midline the whole time. This is number 3. Keep breathing steadily and down. Don't hold your breath ever, please. Number 4, lift and down. One more of these, feeling that center line fired up. Do not hold your breath. Keep the breath flowing and down. Release that block. If you want to put your hips up on the block, if that felt good to you before, especially if you have prolapse or anything like that, go ahead and do so now, because we're going to end with just a couple of Kegels and then we're going to call it a day. But if you don't need the block, you can leave it off to the side. So now let's go ahead and do a few more visualizations. You can use any that we did yesterday, the baby sucking the finger or the pincher, or you can do one of these that I'm going to share with you today. I want you to do a shh with your mouth, like you're saying shh. Feel as you say shh that your low abs are pulling in and your pelvic floor is lifting up. Try to bring even more of a Kegel along with that. So as you say shh, feel that you're pulling your pelvic floor muscles in and up, and you're drawing your belly in toward your spine as well. And then release. Let's go ahead and do one more. The shh, feel that lifting and pulling in. Pull in, pull in, pull in, pull in. And then release. Another thing you can do is just to activate the pelvic floor is to say hut, 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 hut. When you say that, you should feel those abs turn on. If you weren't feeling it before, you'll feel it then, and feel the pelvic floor kind of turn on as well. Hut, hut, hut. If you feel it, then hut and hold it, and then let it go. Okay, last Kegel of the day. This time we're going to challenge ourselves by trying to hold it for 5 seconds. Use your favorite visual aid that you like, the pincher, the baby sucking the thumb, whatever you'd like, but I want you to think of squeezing and lifting around the anus area, feeling that squeeze and lift without squeezing your butt cheeks, and then hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now release it all the way. Feel that elevator dropping down, the doors sliding open, and let it go. All right, go ahead and make sure that you're fully released through the pelvic floor. Make sure that everything is totally let go and relaxed. And just know that this work that we're going to do, that we're doing throughout the next 30 days, is going to improve your sexual health. It's going to improve your bowel and bladder control. It's going to help improve symptoms of prolapse even, potentially. If you want more help with any of these items, check the video notes. I have other resources that you may enjoy as well. And until next time, remember to share this with a friend, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter.